James Fernandez-Reyes is the 16-year-old currently in custody for the murder of the 8, 9, and 19-year-old out of Lebanon County. Former President Trump has just landed here at Harrisburg International Airport within the last 5 minutes. We saw his plane come down and then we lost him through the trees, but he landed on the tarmac. Just moments ago, we've been following this closely. We saw police carry a young child out. They ran that child down the street to an ambulance, the child appearing to be around 2 or 3 years old. And I want to show you exactly where the crash happened. Right down this way, right near exit 36. Just around 4:30 today, the Senate passed that budget over to the House under House Bill 611. So I did play Division I lacrosse. I am going to be testing my 40-yard dash, but I don't think it's going to be as good as it was a few years ago. We have the timer over there. Let's see how it goes. Ready? Any conversations parents could be having with their children about really the ramifications that could happen if you bring a gun to school?
Discussing that there are consequences.
Today, the Gettysburg Foundation hosting its annual Dedication Day ceremony to commemorate the anniversary, but this year, some changes. Earlier this evening, the Fisher family was right here where I'm standing, piecing through the rubble of what was once their family business. I mean, how exciting to be headed into a 4-0 start to the season and a shutout in the whiteout game. I mean, you can't get better. This week, I sat down for an exclusive interview with that baby girl's grandmother. Do you feel the system failed your granddaughter?
Oh, absolutely.
New Year's Eve was like 20 minutes ago, and now we're talking about April Fools. Is this a joke? I don't know. But there is an area where there is some consistency within the system. After looking into the status of the Office of the State Inspector General's investigation into statewide failures in Grace Packer's case, I began asking questions as to what would need to change in order to move that investigation forward. I was told by the IG's office that Pennsylvania state law would need to change in order for them to access protected records under the Child Protective Services law. So I began asking questions as to how important it was for state law to change in order for that investigation to be completed. Representative Donna Bullock is the majority chair of the Children and Youth House Committee. I reached out to her office to ask how important is it for the IG to be able to complete their investigation into Grace's case. At first, I was told by her office I had put that investigation onto her radar. A week later, I requested an interview asking for her answer on if state law needs to change. I was told by her staff the representative has no comment. Republican Representative Craig Stott said they should take another look at the law. In your opinion, how critical is it that the State Inspector General has access to these protected records?
They certainly should have access to it so they can do their job, no doubt about that.
Stotts currently has a bill sitting in the Children and Youth Committee which would put a deadline on bringing about a brand new child welfare information system, but it's been sitting in committee since March. But this isn't the first time the Project PA team has asked about a bill sitting in the Children and Youth Committee. Back in October, we asked Bullock about House Bill 813, which would give the child advocate the ability to access records and documents and investigate complaints into the child welfare system. That bill has been sitting in committee since April.
We're still looking at it, so we haven't decided yet.
So I looked into what the Children and Youth Committee has done so far this year. According to the state website, they've met 12 times since March. 28 bills have been taken up by the committee, but only 8 of them have been voted out. In addition, 8 simple resolutions have been taken up and 7 of those have made it out. To compare to other committees, the Aging and Older Adult Services Committee has met 7 times and moved 8 out of 11 bills or resolutions out of committee. And the Human Services Committee has met 12 times and moved 20 out of 82 bills or resolutions out of committee. So overall, the Children and Youth Committee falls middle of the road in comparison. I asked Bullock's office if she would comment on what the committee has done so far this session. I was told by her staff she had no comment. I called the committee's minority chair, Representative Barry Joswiak's office, to see what he feels about the IG investigation being stalled, as well as what he thinks about what the Children and Youth Committee has been able to accomplish so far this session. I haven't heard back from him, but I will be continuing to ask questions as to what that committee is doing to better protect children across Pennsylvania. In the state capitol, Elise Person, CBS 21 News. The body of a 2-year-old girl being found in the Delaware River last evening. That girl now being identified as Maddie Shields. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Elise Person. Now, this discovery comes nearly a week after flash floods hit Bucks County, killing 5 people. 2 children, including that 2-year-old girl found yesterday, and a 9-month-old boy were swept away in those floods, prompting a county-wide search. Shields' family confirmed to CBS News Philadelphia the body discovered was Maddie's. Sadly, that child was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Search efforts for the 9-month-old boy, they're still ongoing. And now, unfortunately, that family wasn't the only one mourning after those floods. Several community members in Upper Makefield gathered for a vigil to honor those 5 victims who lost their lives. CBS News correspondent Elise Roberts reports. And staying near Philadelphia, the victim in a deadly SEPTA bus crash yesterday has been identified. Police confirmed the victim to be 72-year-old Sunam Nak. The crash happened just after 12 p.m., only a few miles from the victim's home. At least 13 others were injured in that crash, one of them still in critical condition. Now, the scene proved to be frightening for those on both buses, with several witnesses watching the crash and the aftermath. And there's still no word on what caused the collision. Both SEPTA and Philadelphia police say this is an ongoing investigation. And bringing it back home here to Central PA, Harrisburg police are investigating a homicide that left one woman dead after being shot in the area of South 16th and Chestnut Streets. According to police, the shooting happened around 1 a.m. this morning, and the victim died while on the way to the hospital. And neighbors put together a vigil and released some balloons earlier this evening in the victim's honor. And now the victim's mother-in-law is calling on the community to end gun violence. Anyone with further information that could help the investigation, they're asked to contact the Harrisburg Police Department. Moving over to York County, officials from the Dover Township Fire Department were on the scene of a car crash on Carlisle Road this afternoon. These images you see here on your screen, they were posted to the department's Facebook page, and officials confirmed there were multiple people injured in the wreck. At least one lane of traffic was closed near the scene earlier today, with that investigation still ongoing as well. Now, another effort to help those affected by the Broad Street fire. The Susquehanna Art Museum, they're holding a silent auction to benefit the vendors. The city of Harrisburg says it's building a temporary structure to help those vendors. And this week on Face the State, we're also taking a closer look at how the state is helping the Broad Street market recover. That was Representative Patty Kim you just heard from. And join us tomorrow morning on Face the State, where we'll be talking with her and House Minority Leader Brian Cutler, why they both say the governor needs to get more involved with the budget. Well, that again is tomorrow morning at 8:30 on CBS 21. Now, with writers and actors going on strike, UPS workers could soon be joining them.